Hi all and welcome back. In this ServiceNow integration tutorial, we'll be providing a brief understanding of ServiceNow LDAP integration. That is how to do LDAP integration in ServiceNow, and we'll provide step-by-step representation that how we can set up ServiceNow LDAP integration. Okay. So the topics which we'll be covering in this particular video will be like what is LDAP, what is the use of LDAP integration in ServiceNow, what all LDAP servers are supported by ServiceNow, or what are prerequisite for ServiceNow LDAP integration, and then we will go with the step-by-step demonstration of integration between LDAP server and ServiceNow instance. Okay, so let's first understand what is LDAP. So LDAP is referred as lightweight directory access protocol. Okay, it is a client server protocol used over IP network to manage and access the distributed directory information services. So basically, in simple words, when you want to fetch some data from some different server, right? So we will be using LDAP. Okay, so on LDAP we have different hierarchies which we call as objects. Okay, through which we can access the data. So the few objects, okay, name are as given. Okay, so DN stands for distinguished name, RDN stands for relative distinguished name. Distinguished name is like a unique name, we can say. Okay, then OU stand for organizational unit name, DC stand for domain component, CN stand for common name, UID stand for user ID, it's simply a user ID. DC is domain component, it's like you can consider as a group. Okay, and CN called common name, this is a name which we full name we can say. Okay, so what is the use of ServiceNow LDAP integration? So ServiceNow tool uses existing LDAP servers as master source of user data, and it facilitates the user login functionality. User data is auto-populated, so we can fetch the data from the server, LDAP server, right? And user data is auto-populated in ServiceNow instance, and after the ServiceNow is integrated with LDAP server, we can have a functionality like single sign-on, right? So we can, if you are not aware about single sign-on, so single sign-on means that one password for a user is shared between many applications or services. For example, by using same password, user can log into ServiceNow application and in company and provide other company applications such as Outlook, Skype, company timesheet portal, etc. Okay, one more thing you can mark it as a point to remember. Okay, is like if your ServiceNow application is integrated with LDAP server. Okay, LDAP you can consider as a remote database only. Okay, LDAP server, Active Directory, and you change your password through the reset password window, or ServiceNow admin change your password on ServiceNow application. Okay, so then your username, user's Active Directory password will not get changed. Okay, as through ServiceNow instance Active Directory password will not get changed. So basically what I'm trying to say, if we are changing the password on the LDAP side, that particular password can get reflected on the ServiceNow side, but if you are changing the password on ServiceNow side, it will not get replicated on LDAP side. Okay, so it means that this integration is uses read-only connection and never write anything on the LDAP directory. I want to repeat it out. This integration uses read-only connections and never write anything to LDAP directory. Okay, so now moving on to the next point. Okay, what all servers are supported by ServiceNow? So servers supported by ServiceNow are Microsoft Azure Directory, which is most common one. Okay, then Novell, Domino, OpenWorld, LDAP, etc. Okay, Microsoft Azure Directory is widely used among the mention of all the servers, right? So example of LDAP integration, as you can see on the screen, right? So this is a database, you can consider this a LDAP database, and this is one LDAP database. So there are two ways through which we can access the data. One is via mid server, or you can directly also access the data. So via mid server, tag from a customer environment will pull the data Okay, that particular data goes via ECCQ, okay, to our data source. From data source it will replicate the data on import set, and from import set table, with the help of transformer, we can migrate the data into user or group table. Okay, so what are the prerequisites, okay, for LDAP ServiceNow integration? So generally there are 5 to 6 prerequisites, okay, for ServiceNow LDAP integration, but for the demo purpose, demonstration and understanding below, we are looking on only on 2 prerequisites. So it's like name of the external IP, and LDAP server is required, and user credentials, it's like username and password. So first of all, as I mentioned this, the first and foremost thing is like we need a server, right? Okay, we need a LDAP server. So I don't have any LDAP server, right? But how we can perform then without the LDAP server? So it's pretty simple. We have Google with us, right? So you can simply go to Google, okay, and you can simply type test LDAP server, okay, and you will find n number of LDAP server which you can use for testing purpose. Okay, so I will go with the first link, which is forumsys.com. so it provides, okay, online LDAP. Let's see the definition. Okay, so it provide online LDAP test server which you can just use for testing purpose, okay, to see how the LDAP is working. Okay, so let's start. So let's start with the demonstration. I don't want to, okay, I will just give you some briefing on this. Okay, so this is a website, okay, and here you can see some information which is required. So as you can see, LDAP server information, it's read only, I've already explained. Server name as LDAP forum sys ID, this is server ID, this is a port, okay, this is bitDN, okay, it's like distinguished name, so you can consider it as a username, okay, then this is a password, okay, and then you can see you may have individuals, so you can see these are users, okay, there are 2 groups. OU means group, you can consider OU as group. So there are 2 groups, one is mathematicians group and second is scientist group, okay. So these are 2 groups and these are the users which are present in this particular group. So we can use this LDAP server now, okay. So let's move to this instance. So the first step will be logging into ServiceNow application with admin credential. Okay, I don't want to explain this why. Okay, then type LDAP, okay, in the left application navigator, and okay, so I will simply go and type over here LDAP, okay, and now you can see getting started. If you click on getting started, it will route you to this document, ServiceNow document only. Okay, so we will go with the create new one. Okay, create new server. Okay, so now what it's asking, create a new LDAP server record. Okay, provide the basic information below and we will create the LDAP configuration record to get you started. Okay, so we will consider it as an active directory only for now. You can use others also. In the server name, you can give the server name. Okay, so on this server name I can, let's see, you can an attributed name that will be displayed in list and in record detail. If you have multiple LDAP server, then pick name that help you to identify. Okay, so you can give any name. So I will give demo LDAP. Okay, now comes server URL. Okay, so we have to server, so you can simply go over here. Okay, and as I've shown you, right, this is the server URL, LDAP forums.com. Okay, so keep one thing in mind. Okay, whenever you are entering this value, so you should enter it after the double slash. Okay, so I will take this up and I will delete it and then I will paste. Okay, this, now it shows starting search directory. Okay, starting search directory. Now what exactly, you should always go for more information. Okay, you can read, so it will give you the information, right? Okay, how to write example values. Now on starting search directory, I will go to more information. It like the starting search directory or RDN, this is want ServiceNow directory I am not gonna read everything. Okay, so like example DC equal to ServiceNow comma DC equal to com. Let's see if we can. I prefer this way only. Okay, I just see the example values and I try to get the same information over here. So where I can get here, you can say DC equal to example comma, it's in the same format, right? I would copy it out. Okay, I'll come back to this system and I will paste it out. Okay, so now we have filled the form. Now you simply need to click submit. Okay, once you click submit, this particular form will arise, okay, in front of you, and you can, it's ServiceNow has given such a good information message now to guide you out. So it's asking you enter login distinguished name. Okay, so this is a distinguished name, you can consider it as username, and this is as a password. Okay, so where is the username? Okay, we can go here. As I told you, this is the username, right? DN. So I will copy this out, enter. Yeah, the entire username. So I will copy it out, I will paste. Now we need a password. So password is pretty simple password, but I will not type. Okay, I will prefer copying it only. Okay, let's see if I added some spaces by mistake. Okay, I will not select mid server for now. Okay, because I don't want to add it right now. Okay, so once we make sure to specify LDAP attributes, okay, to import of avoiding exceeding grows, right? So on the attribute side, right, we will not add anything, okay, as of such right now, because you have to add attributes because you know ki there will be a lot of things, right, going on the ServiceNow side, on the database side. So to get if you want to filter it out the information, right, then you can give that information. Okay, so I will save it out, and here we have certain components. Okay, so in the components you can see we have connection timeout. So what exactly is number of second before timeout on connection request. Okay, so reach out is like number of second before timeout on read request. Okay, it's just a timeout value, it's set to default, but it's pretty important, okay, to get it connected. So I will simply save it out. Have saved, and now you can see the information message connected successfully. That means the username and password which we have given has worked. Okay, now navigate to the bottom, very bottom. Okay, on LDAP OU definitions. Okay, you will find group and user as a record over there. Okay, so first of all we will look into this. Okay, so to the bottom in the advanced option, if you want, then you can change any specific values. Okay, understanding of listener connection, connect timeout, read timeout, and SL. It's like you can look into this. Okay, I will not fall into deep in this topic because it will be then pretty long video. So we'll move over here, we'll navigate to the bottom, very bottom. Okay, and there is a related list called LDAP OU definitions. Okay, you will find group and user as recorded over there. Okay, we will click on user because we want to import users. Okay, so I will open this user tab. So it's taking some time to open. So as you can see, okay, This is the LDAP OU definition users, and you can see it's pre-populated with some filter, right? Okay, so we don't want, okay, we don't want this. Okay, we will remove the filter. It's like common name equal to users. For now we don't want this also. Okay, so now I've just removed these things out. Okay, now if you like, let's say you want to fetch the name start from E from LDAP server. Okay, then you can enter query in the filter box. Okay, filter X box. So for example, if we go here, I will explain you. So for example, you can see these are the users, right? Okay, and if you want to fetch a users whose name starts with E, so we have 1 2 3 users, right? So we can give the filter query to fetch only those 3 users. Okay, not everything. Okay, so what you can do, you can simply go here and you can define a condition. So you know this is a, if you go into this document, so you can see this is a UID, right? Okay, so you can give condition as UID. Okay, you need everything which is starting from E, right? So we will give E star. Okay, so it will fetch all the names or the users which are starting with name E. Okay, now you can save this form. Now you can simply click on test connection. Okay, so to check whether the connection is successful or not. So you can see the connection got successful, right? Okay, so we are pretty going fine till now. Okay, to check what all data is fetched from LDAP, okay, LDAP server using this filter, we can navigate to the link called browse. Okay, so what it's showing, you can always don't believe me, believe on the tooltip, okay, which is given over here. So it's like request an LDAP browser on the current OU, okay, OU definition. So you can simply click on browse, it will redirect you to the LDAP. Okay, you can see your filter over here, right? And if you click on this plus icon, okay, you can see all the users which got fetched from it. So now you can see 3 users, right? Einstein, Euler and Eulicht. Okay, so are there 3 users only? Okay, so it's starting with the Euler, Euclid and Einstein. Perfect. So now we have fetched the data. If you want to see the information on the same, so you can click on the user and you can find the information for that particular user. Okay, including CN, DN, mail, object class, all these things. Perfect, right? Okay, so in this way you can do ServiceNow to LDAP integration. Okay, you can take help of Active Directory team to get the information of RDN, DN, password, LDAP server URL or IP, etc. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now we got the data from the LDAP server. Let's move a step back. Okay, now you want to pull this data to your ServiceNow instance, right? That's what we want to do, right? So we got the data in our system, right? We have just seen. Now let's move to this user table, okay, and see what the data we have. Okay, so I have just moved to user table and you can see there are 644 records right now. Okay, now I move back to the LDAP OU definition users, and below that you can see data sources, right? You can simply open this data sources out. Okay, I have just opened it out. Okay, and now you can see this is a data source. Okay, it shows import set table is equal to LDAP, type equal to LDAP target user, because we are pushing the data into user. In the similar way you can push the data to groups also. And we have two related list, load test load 20 records. You can load 20 records to see everything is working fine or not. We have already seen that with the 3 records which you are looking for, we got those 3 records. So I will go with the load all records. Okay, so you can simply go with the load all records, and what it will do, it will fetch the data from the LDAP server to the import set table. Okay, so you can see process 3 insert. Okay, we have inserted 3 records. Perfect, that's what we were looking for. Then after that, what you can see, you can simply go to create transform map. Okay, in create transform map you can give the name, okay, for your transform map. So I will give demo LDAP transform map. Okay, source table, this is the import set table got created. Okay, we'll give the target table as sys underscore user, which is a user table. Where's the user table? Yeah, we got, perfect. Okay, and I will save it out. Okay, save. I will remove this run business rules and all that shits also. You can have it. Okay, then you can go to the mapping assist, or you can go with the auto map matching fields. Okay, it will auto generate if the column values are identical or matching in some way, but let's go with the mapping assist. Okay, so here you can see the source table fields and the target table field. For now I will just take one field, which is user ID. Okay, I will mark this UID with the use, not the VIP, right, with the user ID. Okay, and I will save it out. Okay, let's, in the similar way you can do it for all the fields. Okay, whatever you want to map. Okay, then you can see I have mapped it out. You can mark it as colors also, so it will avoid the duplicate entries. Let's mark it as colors also. Come on. LDAP is pretty simple. Okay, so now it's done. Now you can simply click on this transform to execute the transform map and move the data from source to target table. Okay, so if I click on transform, okay, this is the import set. Yeah, this is the table which we have already we know these things. Okay, don't need to ask again and again. So we can simply click on transform. So this is also a zero coding approach. Okay, pretty amazing. I really like this out. So as you can see, the status is complete, right? Code completion is success. If you want to see the history, you can see the transform history. What is the in transform history? So 3 records got inserted. We will not believe in this. Okay, let's try to find it on the user table itself. So you can see it's 644 records right now. If I refresh it out, so it's 647, and you can see these 3 records got inserted in the user table. Isn't it pretty simple? Okay, to implement. Okay, in this way we can you can implement end-to-end LDAP integrations. Okay, for migration of data like user groups, okay, from any external data sources to ServiceNow. Okay, you can also schedule it out. Okay, so if you go over here, because as it's a data source, right? Okay, so you can simply, if I type LDAP, okay, you can have schedule loads also, through which you can schedule also this particular import. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you like it. useful. Hope you think that it will help you out, okay, in doing the LDAP integration in your organization. Okay, if you need any such kind of a tutorial, because this was also a request from one of my subscriber, if you need any such tutorial, please mention it in the comments and I will definitely get back to you. Okay, till that time, stay with me in this beautiful journey on ServiceNow learnings. Okay, like, follow, subscribe. Okay, and press the bell icon so that you will not miss any kind of tutorials from my side. Okay, till then, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you and have a nice day.